Because I'm a kid. Because I'm weak.
I'd like you to take me with you.
That's too bad, because no.
So fight. Just fight.
The unholy war spreading across the universe like unquenchable fire. A warrior religion that waves the Atreides banner in my father's name.
Think of your slaughtered comrades. Keep moving forward. Even if you die. Even after you die.
Fanatical legions worshipping at the shrine of my father's skull.
I am free, Armin. Every single thing that I've done, I decided to do. My actions are governed by nothing but my own free will.
A war in my name! Everyone shouting my name!
I'll end it! Here and now! I'll put an end to this world!
Get off me!
May thy knife chip and shatter. You don't have to serve anyone! You can make your own choices!
Silence!
Silence!
Eren Yeager and Paul Atreides. You'd be surprised to see how many similarities these two have, and I couldn't help but notice after seeing Dune for the first time a couple weeks ago when it came out. I remember watching the first Dune and then really falling in love with the world and characters, especially Paul Atreides. I was interested in his journey. And then that same day I went to see Dune 2, and that movie was really good, but I fell in love with his character, and I already had seen Attack on Titan, and I've been watching that for a very long time for the past years, and it's definitely my favorite anime of all time, and Eren Yeager is definitely one of my favorite characters, fictional characters of all time.
これが自由だ!
And I couldn't help but notice the similarities between these two, and I just thought, oh man, I have to make a video on this. I know the Dune series isn't complete. They'll be making a third movie in a couple of years, but I do want to make this video now because I'm just so excited. In this video, we're going to discuss both characters and the roles they play in their own worlds and their destinies that they're set out to achieve. I'm going to go over their character arcs, their struggles, the worlds they're set in, their motivations, their powers and abilities, themes we see on both sides, and any possible similarity and difference I can find. The first similarity, and the most obvious one, is that they're both protagonists. Both Eren and Paul are central characters in their respective stories, playing significant roles in shaping the plot and the world around them. You could even say that both of them have control over their own destinies, but we'll get into that a little bit later. One of the biggest and probably the most important thing we see that are similar between both characters is their transformation. Both characters undergo significant transformations throughout their stories. Eren starts as a determined but somewhat naive youth and evolves into a complex and morally ambiguous figure. And similar to that, Paul begins as a young noble youth with potential and grows into a powerful and influential leader, just like Eren. In Attack on Titan, Eren's determination and resolve leads him to confront the Titans threatening humanity, while in Dune, Paul's journey from a young noble to a powerful leader shapes the fate of entire civilizations, but Eren's also shapes the destiny of the entire world. Their journeys are quite different though, because Eren, he starts off as a little kid. He starts off aggressive and angry as he learns about the world and how unfair it is, and he's always been an aggressive little kid who's looking for a fight. He's ready to fight at all times, and it really carries over to when he becomes an adult because his anger is just amplified by 10. And when Eren learns to control his power, he becomes very dangerous as he learns more. Eren feels like he's doing what he needs to do to protect his friends and family. According to the Dune movies, Paul is just he's a kid. He's not as small as Eren was, but he's a teenager and he's looking to get out there, and he's eager to learn what's out there and get into some fights and, get some experience under his belt. But at the same time, he's humble and calm. He knows how to control his emotions and his anger. He's even tested to see if he can keep his composure while going under immense pain. So there's Eren, who's more emotional, and then there's Paul, who's more calm and relaxed and knows how to control his emotions. Although the Dune movies are not finished yet, we have more than enough evidence to see that Paul is undergoing a transformation. As both characters gain more knowledge, it seems the more stoic they become. They get this dull look in their eyes, and they seem very nonchalant until they get angry, and then they demand respect. They demand control over the room. They're the center of attention. We've seen Eren, as his knowledge grows, he becomes more stoic, way more quiet. He talks lower. I don't know if that's puberty puberty or if he just became more calm. Anger is stored up inside, and he knows about how unfair the world is. He has way more wisdom than he did before. And same with Paul when he drinks the water of life. Except Paul, he got a little bit more confident. They both also had to go under extreme training. Paul has to learn how to survive in the desert. He has to learn the ways of the Fremen, and he had to learn how to become a leader and ride a huge worm and lead an entire race of people. Eren's journey is a little different. He has to go through training, being a Titan, and learning how to be a cadet. I would say his Titan training was definitely more excruciating, and another huge part of Eren's development and transformation is when he went over to the other side of the world to see what it was like and realized that it wasn't much different. Just a lot of propaganda. The world is unfair, and so Eren gains more sympathy for the entire world, but he feels he has to do what he needs to do to make sure his friends and family are safe. One of the absolute biggest similarities is that they both can decide their own fate. They both can see the future. Although they may be kind of blurry visions and dreams and not quite clear, it helps guide them and make their decisions. And Eren is led to make a decision that he thinks will be best for everyone around him and his people. Paul is also navigating, trying to find the best possible way. He even refuses to go to certain places because he really wants to make sure he's making the right decisions. Both of them care about people. They have everyone's best interest at heart. They really love their friends. They want to protect their friends and family. And so they both make decisions that possibly are arguably not the right ones, but they're doing what they think is right. Both characters are tied to prophecies, or you can call them destinies, that they have some control over, but not completely. Eren from the future makes sure that everything goes perfectly to plan to make sure his plan falls through. But Paul's isn't quite as complicated. Paul is the subject of the Bene Gesserit's breeding program, which aims to produce a super being known as the Kwisatz Haderach. Their futures loom over both of them. Eren is tied to the Attack Titan. The Attack Titan's powers come along with that. Meanwhile, Paul's existence is intricately linked to the Bene Gesserits and their weird plan to breed, to create a being with the ability to see across time and space. But the fulfillment of both of these prophecies add layers of complexity to the protagonist's journeys. The next similarity is the struggle against oppression. Both Eren and Paul find themselves fighting against oppressive forces. Eren battles Titans and the rest of the world to protect humanity within the walls, while Paul leads a rebellion against the oppressive rule of the Harkonnens. Their stories beginning with oppression is probably one of the biggest similarities between them. Now let's focus mainly on the differences. The worlds of Attack on Titan and Dune are vastly different. Attack on Titan is set in a dystopian world where humanity is on the brink of extinction, while Dune is a science fiction and it's set in a dual and interstellar society, so really different setups. Eren's world starts off way more compact and just this small little bubble of people surrounded by walls that are just filled with huge titans. So the idea of that is pretty different from Dune in the first place, although Dune does have some pretty big monsters, or the worms. Dune unfolds in a science fiction universe dominated by politics, interstellar travel, and a very important substance and very crucial plot point to the story, which is spice. So there's a pretty big contrast in the setting and tone of each story, and especially the themes of each narrative. Another difference is their motivations. Eren's motives are initially driven by desire for freedom and revenge against the Titans, but as the story progresses, his motives become more complex and ambiguous. Paul's motivations are shaped by his upbringing, his family's political ambitions, and his role in the prophecy. Both of them are driven by a sense of purpose, but their motivations are pretty significantly different. It's especially interesting to watch Eren's initial desire for freedom and revenge against the Titans to evolve into like a complex web of conflicting emotions and like moral dilemmas. While Paul, he starts off wanting to go out there, see what's out there, join a fight, learn how to rule, and his journey eventually transforms into fulfilling the prophecy of the Bene Gesserit. But in the end, both of their motivations drive their narratives forward, shaping the paths they tread. Alright, I'm excited and been waiting to talk about this one. Their powers and abilities. Eren possesses the power to transform into a Titan, which he unknowingly got that from his father, granting him immense strength and regenerative abilities, while Paul, on the other hand, is gifted with heightened mental and physical abilities due to his Bene Gesserit training, along with training with the Fremen. Paul also had a personal trainer that helped him gain his great fighting abilities before he even joined the Fremen, so he was already a really good fighter. Then when he joins the Fremen, he learns their ways, how to travel the desert, and I believe he just gets better physically from there. But we can't forget about Paul's probably most important power, his ability to control people with his speech just by the tone of his voice. It's so powerful and cool to see on screen, and every time he uses it, it's a joy to see. Paul's other ability is to be able to see the future. Now, he can't clearly see the future, like it's not a night and day clear view of the future. He sees possibilities and possible consequences, and he makes his moves based on that. Now, Eren, on the other hand, he can see the future. He can also see the past when making contact with somebody. Now, Eren isn't automatically a beast. He's not well trained as a Titan in his Titan form. He has to learn how to control his Titan form. He also has to learn how to use his hardening ability. He also has to learn how to consistently generate new Titan bodies without getting a bloody nose or getting tired. But I definitely say Eren's experiences and training is definitely way more excruciating. And finally, their themes. While both stories explore themes of power, destiny, and the struggle against oppression, they do so in different ways. Attack on Titan dives into themes of existential dread, the cycle of violence, and the consequences of one's actions, while Dune explores concepts of politics, religion, and ecology in a complex and layered narrative. Overall, while Eren and Paul share some similarities as a protagonist facing extraordinary circumstances, their stories and characters are shaped by their respective settings, motivations, abilities, leading to distinct narratives and themes. In conclusion, while Eren Yeager and Paul Atreides share some striking similarities as protagonists facing extraordinary circumstances, their journeys are shaped by the unique worlds they inhabit, the challenges they face, and the choices they make along the way. Through their stories, we gain a deeper understanding of the human condition, the complexities of power, and the enduring of quest for meaning in a turbulent world. If you made it to the end of the video, I thank you. Please consider subscribing. This is content I want to make. I want to make this compare and contrast video for other characters, other stories and protagonists, and even villains in the story. So if you enjoyed the video, let me know by leaving a like, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace out.